talking about the June 1st, our first chase out ever. Started about 8 o'clock in the morning. I got a call from Brandon, and we decided we were going to go out, chase these storms. There were already warnings up to the north of us. We thought we'd be heading north. By the time I got to Brandon's house, it was probably an hour later. We packed up all our stuff, what we did have back then, which was basically a camera and a notebook. We had a GPS too.
June 1st was interesting, to say the least. I woke up that morning to storm warnings going off like crazy. And me and Chris had been talking about actually starting to chase. So I called him and said, dude, you need to get over here. And if we're going to do this, today's the day. So we got a massive, massive squall line heading for us. And there's storm warnings. And
so we headed out to the west to see a pretty awesome shelf cloud. The part that hurt us was we didn't have any technology. We had no radar. We didn't have GR. And we actually did have Brandon's phone, which was 10 minutes slow.
I didn't realize it was a shelf cloud at first. I thought it was the outer edge of a supercell. And it looked like one. But later on I found out it was actually a shelf cloud. And so we ended up chasing it. We started heading, we took a couple westbound back roads to get a little bit further deeper into the storm where the heavier part was. And we ran into hail and pretty much a little bit of everything. Pretty heavy downpours, wind, hail. And the storms were moving so quick we couldn't really keep up with them, because we couldn't, at the time we literally had nothing but a radar on my old cell phone that was, you couldn't even tell what the storms were doing.
August 20th, our second most successful chase. Started out midday, probably around noon. We took off to the west, looking for some storm development. Ended up seeing a relatively weak wall cloud. It was rotating, however. After that we tried to catch the storm heading northeast. Didn't end up doing that. We stopped to check our radar.
And we seen a lowering. And we wasn't exactly, and it was behind some trees. We couldn't tell for sure what it was, so we kept going. And come to find, we actually seen a weak wall cloud. And it was Chris's first. And it was pretty funny seeing him getting all excited and whatnot, because it was actually his first wall cloud. I've seen several before. I've even seen tornadoes. But he hasn't actually got to see one yet, so he was pretty excited.
By this time we had GR. We had a computer. We just didn't have mobile internet on the go, so we had to stop to check it. Chase those storms. We headed down to the southeast. The storms were, however, moving northeast. We were just trying to cut them off. Ended up not being able to do that. They sort of formed a line, shifted east, and we were chasing them. We couldn't catch them.
And once we got down in that area, we hardly had no road options. The storms were moving about 60, 65 miles an hour.
We've come a long way, to say the least. Like I said, our first chase on June 1st was it was pretty primitive. Next season we're going to have, we already have a GPS. We are trying to figure out how to hook it into GR and Microsoft Streets and Trips.
Since June 1st, compared to what we know now, that's an understatement. You know, we've been working our butts off reading and comparing notes and observing, and a storm chaser's job never quits. I mean, you might, even during the off season, during the winter, there's still plenty you can do. And you never stop learning.
Chase equipment. It's going to help us a lot to get mobile radar, I think. I think that'll benefit us a lot. We, as you can see, the updated GR that we showed you in the last section will help us a lot too. We've got our satellite combined with radar right there, so we'll be able to see developing storms. That satellite updates every 20 minutes. So every 20 minutes we'll get an update on cloud development, precipitation, radar, etc. Another thing is, we've also added a lot of new features to what we use to predict and are going to be able to use to chase this year. We've learned how to read a lot of maps, a lot of soundings. We've got a great site, twisterdata.com. It's going to help us out.
Now, how to read forecasting charts from Twister Data or any of the other forecasting websites. We know how to use them, how to utilize them, how to actually read them so we know what is what and what signatures on those type of charts indicate severe weather or even worse. And there's just so much more that we have learned and so much more that we have figured out and understand now compared to day one.
As chasers overall, the experience that we gained last year is going to carry over into this year, and it's just going to be one hell of a ride.